All right, Cyber Traders, welcome on back here this Tuesday, November 22nd. Great to be back in my rightful spot here this Tuesday, November 22nd. Great to see all of us here live. Grant, Chuck, Chris, all of us here inside the Cyber Group room, making sure that my audio is good. I've had a little glitch just on my other computer here, so hopefully for all of us, at least on social media, you folks should be good. Hopefully you folks are good to go. For all of us inside the trading room, I believe you folks are at least. Grant, Charles, Karen, Sam, Jeff, Chuck, good audio from him. All right, a little flustered at least with that little glitch to begin. But with that in mind, though, folks, let's hop right to it. We have a busy afternoon. The market right now has really not gone much of anywhere over the last couple of hours or so. Small push up going into the late morning, early afternoon, but really since noontime, it's been relatively flat. The Pally trade, though, I mean, hey, this ended up making a really nice pop for us early this morning. So let me just zoom out on this briefly. We'll talk a little bit about this stock, but we ended up going over this pretty much from head to toe inside of our Traders Talk workshop, which we conducted inside our room this morning. We're going to have the recording of that at least put up on the student portal later on this afternoon for all of our students that had missed out. So the Pally trade had some good activity after 8:30 Eastern and pre-market, coming off of some sort of FDA fast-tracking news. With that, ended up leading to a big pop shortly within the first 3 to 5 minutes of the market opening up. So personally, I'd missed out on this in pretty much entire run. I was able to scalp essentially 35 to 37 cents, and really it was tight. I didn't want to hit a home run on this trade because I missed out on the brunt of the move. I figured that this would look to pull back over time, and it did do just that. So ended up pulling back down towards 415, 420-ish, and then from there really hasn't gone much of anywhere since. It's been trying to make this push back up. In Traders Talk, we actually called it out off that 478 print line that we focused on from one of the halts that it had. Led to a nice break above that price at the end of the Traders Talk workshop. Led to a great run from that point, but you would have expected resistance to at least get flipped into support. That didn't really happen. I mean, at first it tried to, but then you wanted it to make a much better pop and run, higher lows from 5, and that simply didn't happen. So, for right now, it's just gone flat. Maybe by the end of this meeting, if it makes some sort of fluke pop, then we'll be more interested in it. But I mean, normally the stock doesn't trade 54 plus million shares a day. Normally the stock trades about 100 to 150,000 shares per day. That's it. So this is the definition of exhaustion. I think we saw that earlier on another stock that is not on the gainers list anymore. I mean, it's crazy to see a stock up 35 to 40%, if not a hell of a lot more than this ONCS made early in pre-market. But this is actually well below yesterday's close now at this point. It flipped from top percent gainer to top percent loser within a matter of 4 to 5 hours. So that's where I say for a stock that trades such little volume day to day, oh my God, before today and yesterday, perhaps, this stock was trading maybe about 4,000 or 5,000 shares per day. Hey, really quick, for Karen, Chris, Chuck, and Grant, all of us here, I'm sure you'll have different exact answers, but generally speaking, what's our whole philosophy here at Cyber Trading University? What are we exactly following? Of course, we're trying to cut losses tight. We know that. But we're following what? Following the money. Chris just abbreviates with the dollar sign. As simple as that. Simple as that. If there's no big money to follow on a stock, then it's just not worth it. So unless if a stock is coming off of news and has its initial pump, we'll focus on that. But once it begins to make lower highs, lower low, game over. That's it. So I don't know what the hell happened to this ONCS here, but we didn't really focus on it as much after the market opened up. It fell flat afterwards. I don't even think Fausto put this on the main list. All right. Back to Pally, at least, hey, wouldn't shock me then with lower highs. We could see a lower low, a break of support off that blue 478 line. I was looking for a true bounce and support test off of that 415 earlier. It kind of glossed over it briefly. It didn't exactly test it here. It kind of held a higher low from 420, 425. So I feel like if this fails to really pump soon, this could have a similar fate as the ONCS trade had. Don't get stuck holding. All right, so we'll come back to this perhaps at the end, but with that in mind, though, let me just zoom out on the 5-minute chart here pretty briefly. You could see, like I'd said, for the last hour, market's gone really flat. There was a small pop by 1 o'clock, but Now it's 236, hour and a half. It's gone flat. So, we'll see if there's anything doing here by the end of the day, but let's go from top to bottom now, see if there's anything looking, just enticing, anything good. BURL, I didn't even click on this earlier, folks, just given the price. Is this Burlington Code Factor? Yeah, Burlington stores. There you go. Nice little push from the morning. Big pop, actually, for that one. Obviously, very expensive, so we're not going to day trade this, but I didn't really check this out from the morning. I was that ignorant of it. So, nice day for Burlington. Nice pop. Actually, that could have been a nice day trade given the price, but let's see if there's anything looking better. ANF, I thought this would have made for a better day trade, at least throughout the day. It hasn't done really any of it. It made a small, slow bounce off of like 21 or 21.25 or so. It's trying to make a squeeze back up right now, I reckon. If you zoom in on the 1 minute chart, it's trying right now. I'll come back to this at the end. Maybe we'll give it a second look. I got Chris in the chat board here. I'll be talking to him a little bit later on. MANU, big pop. Manchester United, right? Honestly, I think that's Manchester United. They're publicly traded. You got the World Cup on. That could be in relation to that. Who knows? Let's see what else we got, though, in the meantime. We'll go to ManU. We'll go to a couple of the others just in the chat board once we finish up. AEO, very similar to ANF. Probably coming off earnings, but yeah, this isn't looking as sharp, at least compared to the ANF. PSNY. This one we ended up trading actually before I stepped away on vacation. Took a small break to California to see one of my close friends graduate the LAPD there. It was a very nice time. But before I even left, we were trading this PSNY. I definitely remember this gap up back in early November. Ended up squeezing up day over day at least. Big pop today, though, going into the early afternoon. So for right now, I don't mind putting this on our main list for right now. It's not as close to the highs compared to earlier, but we'll see if this could build up. The PSNY trade, we'll start by putting this on our list. All right, we got WW Weight Watchers. Yeah, no, definitely pretty slow. Definitely pretty flat there. We'll pass on this one for right now, and we'll keep it going. What else we got, Chris? Here's the ManU trade. It's down here on the gainer side. We'll jump to that coming up. WMG Warner Music Group, I think. Yep, one of us had called it out earlier, but low volume trading on it right now. And with ManU, told you, Manchester United led to a big pop right now. Big pop. I knew Chris was going to be money on this call out. So great call from Chris as usual. Let's just check the news here from ManU. I'm not a footy fan as much, but in terms of the favorites and the underdogs in the World Cup, I think Saudi Arabia beat Argentina. Was that true? I think they were like plus 1,800 underdog. That's pretty wild. In the meantime, at least for myself speaking, let's go USA. We'll talk footy another time, though. So, ManU, Cristiano Ronaldo leaves Manchester United after scoring 145 goals in 316 appearances. I guess that was important enough to make Benzinga pro. Let's see. Manchester United owners to explore the sale as Glazers seek new investment. Could this be short covering? Could this be profit taking just to get the hell out, knowing that there's going to be some, transition in power? Don't be led to believe this is going to be like a really good pop long term, but this could just be some short covering, some profit taking here. If there isn't enough buying to follow up after this year, then it's going to dump right back down. So great call from Chris. Little ManU news out there, I guess, today, but. We'll see if this does anything from this point. I would assume still 50-cent levels whole numbers. And then aside from that, quickly looking at the TradeStation histogram, 1449, that complements 50. And then other than that, 1462, actually a pretty big volume-based level itself. So 1462 could be a nice level to follow. All right, we'll keep it going. Nice run-in right here with ManU. CPRX, nice run into this too. Squeezing back up pretty nicely, trading about 70,000 shares per minute right now, pretty much right off the highs. And looking at the weekly chart, this stock is breaking 52-week highs and maybe all-time highs. Who knows? Let's take a look. Ooh, this is pretty interesting, folks. CPRX. I don't know what the news is, just to expedite time. I'm not going to keep checking Benzinga, but just given the fact that this stock is at the intraday highs and pretty much at all-time highs right now, this is a really nice play. I like the stock, CPRX. It's a pharma company too, so we always say be careful on the pharma stocks. Any reasonably bad news, the stock could drop 50, 60, 70% in one day. So, we've seen that happen before. So I wouldn't necessarily call this a great swing trade, opportunity from this very point. Easy to say from the last, however many weeks or months or so. It's been running up pretty well. Definitely a good day trade for us here inside the live trading room. All right, what else we got? We got Proverb, PRVB. Ooh, where are all these stocks coming from? I mean, I felt like it was kind of a sleepy early afternoon. Not as much chat inside the room, at least up until the meeting. And, that's all right at times. Hey, we're heading into Thanksgiving, and not as many people are even in the room spending time with families and taking time off, giving your eyes a rest, as I did just over the last few days. With that, though, I mean, where are all these stocks coming from? Proverb, PRVB just broke a new high earlier, pulling back a little bit right now, so you might want to be careful in that regard. 850 should be a pretty big support, but yeah, I don't mind slipping this just on the back burner to our list for right now, PRVB. More interested in the first three, at least. All right, what else we got here? We got 9 energy stock. This thing's been on a tear back since early October. Dick's Sporting Goods getting a little pricey, or they have been for a little while, but obviously big push earlier today. Big Lots, I don't think they're trading enough volume on the intraday for us today. All right, and that might just about do it on the gainer side, folks. If there's anything else looking, as good that I didn't check out just yet, type it in the chat board. Definitely let me know. That's how we work together as a team. Let's hop over to the loser side right now, seeing if there's anything looking as good, if not better. API. I mean, it was down big. Wanted to look at it briefly. A pass. IQ is going to be too slow. I just know that instinctively. Jack in the Box and DY are both pretty expensive. Not going to be as inclined to follow that here. All right, and that's where I tell you, folks, it's just way quicker for us to scan through the losers list. You're not going to find nearly as much on this side of the field. The markets are up today, more of a slow grind up, but otherwise, there's still not a whole lot that looks as great. And as I say that, I run right into NVAX here. Novavax is a potential short. This does look pretty good as a day trade. So it's pretty funny because as often as I just say, hey, normally we tend to kind of skim through the losers list, not a whole lot on there. For any of our longtime members here, like Ron or Grant or Michael or Leda, actually, my condolences go out to Leda and her family today. I know she wrote me just an email earlier this morning. So for any of her friends, of course, inside the live trading room, if you want to give her a quick shout out and send her a nice text or email, that would be greatly appreciated. But nevertheless, though, if you're a longtime student, you know that I always run into this. Anytime I say that, there's not a whole lot on the loser side, right away after. And it was funny that it just happened here. I just kind of jinx myself and I'll fall flat into a perfect short like NVAX. So yes, NVAX I'll put on our list. Maybe I shouldn't assume that there's not a whole lot on here just yet. So let's see if there's anything else that could join it. TWOU. Not trading enough volume this one. All right, and now at this point, I don't think there's anything else that I see, at least. There's still a lot that's down percentage-wise, 5, 6, 7% maybe. So if there's anything I didn't look at, now's the time. Definitely let me know here, folks. Type it in the chat board. Type it in on social media, Facebook Live or YouTube. Ron asking, could I look at DLO? Absolutely. DLO, I know, was one that we traded while I was away. Rich was texting me all about it when it first dropped off. It was like a 50% drop that day last week. Yesterday, unfortunately, didn't really make a great run up. And right now, it just looks kind of flat, Ron. Slowly grinding up right now, I guess, right off the lows. If you have a good entry as a day trade, I hope you do well on it, but not a whole lot to this trade for right now. And Coin Rising again says, Karen, I'd say the same thing. Coin we called out from the morning. We had it on the morning watch list. It was choppy to begin with. It made a nice pop over 43. So from that point, we actually did pretty well on it. But from there, it's just a sideless stock right now. Nothing really too special about this one either. And folks, that is okay. I appreciate all of the call outs and keep them coming in. If there's any you want me to look at, we got time right now. But I'm not going to force anything on the main watch list. It's a holiday week. The smart money is either letting their assistants do the trading for them right now, or they're just totally shut down. So let's see if there's anything looking good. I'm just on Benzinga Pro right now. So I'm looking at MSGM. I just caught this myself. It's up like 14% over the last 5 minutes. It's up 80% total on the day. I think it's halted right now. I don't think it's trading right now. So this is currently halted. It's going to have to wait another 5 or so minutes for this to reopen up. But MSGM, I would definitely say, though, like I'd said on ONCS and the others, although it's moving up really well right now, this could be a pop and drop type of stock, pump and dump type of stock. So don't get caught slipping. Don't get caught looking the other way, and this comes crashing right back down, and it never returns. This is definitely the type of stock that would do such things. So, if this fails to continue, then we'll move on to something else. But for right now, just respecting how much it's already up right now, and with the hope of there being more, I'll put this on our main list just on the end. Notice how I say that, by the way, too. I got to cross my T's, dot my I's here. We got a lot of us watching inside our trading room, about 100 right now, and about another 20 more on YouTube and Facebook Live together. So, we're not just trying to jump into a stock and hope and pray. So, something like Nordstrom, JWN that Michael wrote here in the chat board now, JWN moving higher. It's up 6 to 7%. We like that. It's at the highs. We also like that. Doesn't mean it's guaranteed to continue. This also could dump off like a low volume stock. But most important part about this stock, and that's why I appreciate Michael throwing this in the chat now, it's really liquid. It's penny spread, very liquid stock. Got an iceberg at 22.80 actually. So yeah, Nordstrom having a pretty good day, Mike. I like this one. Good call. We'll put this on our list. That leads me to look at Macy's, which I think from last week I was following this on my plane ride to California, doing a little trading on the ride there. I didn't trade Macy's though. I figured it would be kind of a choppier trade, and it was. And I mean, it's not nearly looking as strong as Nordstrom right now, but yeah, I mean, good sideless stock, I guess. KSS, little pop right now, but not up as much percentage wise. So definitely good call from Mike on Nordstrom here, JWN. All right, so I think that just about wraps it up all together for all of us inside the trading room and from me on Benzinga Pro. So I don't see anything else on Facebook Live or YouTube, and that's totally good by me, folks. For right now, on top of just the watch list, I'm not putting Uber on the main watch list, but for all of us inside the live trading room, that I've been in Uber today as a swing trade, still holding on to that right now. Not looking as great compared to what the SPY is doing today. So, we'll see what happens going into the close or heading into the market open tomorrow. But, otherwise, if it doesn't look as great come tomorrow morning, then I'll just jump ship, break even, or at a fractional loss. But otherwise, though, I've been looking at Uber for sub 28 for the last 2 weeks now. I finally got it. In from 27.61, 27.62. My apologies. But with that, let's see if this can make a nice squeeze up higher. But it'll be a sideless stock, if anything, here for me. All right, so that's it, folks, for all of us on social media, Facebook Live, YouTube. Hey, enjoy the rest of your day. If you have any questions, feel more than free to send over a quick email. Josh@c2trading.com is my email. Always like to post that at the end of these streams here. If you're interested in joining our live trading room, even with this being a smaller week with the market closed Thursday for Thanksgiving and half day for Friday for Black Friday, if you wanted to join our live trading room, please just go right down to the link on the yellow banner below the stream. And on top of that, you could actually call our office to set the actual date that you wanted to start. So if you wanted to begin for Monday of next week, just a clean week, and you're in the trading room early for pre-market, sign up now and then call our office and talk to one of our education advisors. They'll be able to manually set that for you. But, if anything, though, we look forward to seeing you just in the near future. For all of us in there right now, I look forward to chatting with you folks coming up in a bit. Rich will be on the mic in about 10 or so minutes. Take care.
Become a Cyber Group member today. Just click the link below and receive all these amazing products and a world of knowledge for just $9. Do it today.